the Infruition podcast, where I, Coach Freddie, your ultimate cheerleader, teaches you the skills to elevate your life and improve your overall life enjoyment and your overall life satisfaction. If you want to make a change in your life, if you feel that you are destined for more, listen on. You have hit a gold mine. Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm so glad you're joining me again. If you're joining for the first time, I'm so happy to have you. I'm sure that you're one of those people that really want to change their lives and be more calm and loving. And if you are, you have come to the right place. So let's dive right into this episode. So we're in the month of love, and I want to talk today about living from a place of love. I think we can all agree with the world and how it is. We need to bring love and its twin sister, compassion, into our daily interactions. We don't know what people are dealing with, so we really need to start doing this. But let's really be honest, brutally honest with ourselves. This isn't always easy. So, do you struggle with this? Do you find it hard to show love to the person who irritates you at work or cuts in line in front of you at the gym and doesn't, you get that rage because now suddenly you've got to wait for a machine? Do you hold back from bringing your true loving nature into this world because you fear it will make you seem weak? I get it. I've been there. And I got you. For a long time, I believed that leading with love meant getting used by superiors, by family, by friends, by romantic partners. I thought that if I let my guard down, I'd be taken advantage of. And after being hurt, I built walls, thick ones. I became guarded, I became defensive, and I became unwilling to let people in. My relationship suffered and I suffered. And I think there's a lot of you that can resonate with this. It is so entrenched in our nature to do this, to protect ourselves at any cost. And it's often at the cost of our own true being, our own loving nature. But here's what I've learned. I am wired to live from a place of love. And when I don't, it creates an internal battle inside myself, a battle that over time led me to anxiety and depression. So, how did I find my way back? How did I start living from love again? And how can you find your way back to this? Listen on, because by the end of this podcast, you'll have all the tools to do the same I've done. And when you do, I promise your joy will increase. So let's get right into the thick of this episode. So step one that I've got for you is acceptance. In my case, I had to pull myself out of the exhausting habit of trying to read minds, assuming what others thought of me and using that as a mirror for my own worth. There's a quote that says, "I'm not who you think I am. I'm not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am." Now, how confusing is that? But it's absolutely true. We so often try and read minds. We try and think, what are people thinking about us? And we judge them based on what we think they are thinking about us. So much of our identity is shaped what we believe others think of us, whether we embrace it or rebel against it. So those are the two options you've got. So you can totally make it part of your own personality. If you feel somebody views you in a certain way, you make it part of your personality. Or you rebel against it. You become totally the opposite, and you make sure that whatever you think somebody else sees you as, you're going to be nothing like that. But here's the thing. Most of the time, we don't even know if the assumptions we are making are correct. And even if they are, we can't control what others believe about us. So instead of trying, I chose acceptance. I accepted that not everyone will like me. And this is a tough one, guys. We are a species that have evolved into the point where, we come from the cavemen where if people didn't accept you, you were put out in the cold, you had to hunt for yourself, and chances are you're going to die. So we're still in that position where we feel we need to please those around us, and we need to value their opinion of us higher than our own opinion, because they're what matters. They're the tribe that's going to put us out in the cold if we don't. But yeah, at the end of the day, we need to get to that point where we can accept that not everybody is going to like us. I chose acceptance. I accepted that not everyone will like me. And I accepted that I don't have to prove myself to anyone. Let that sink in. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. We're not cavemen anymore. You're not going to starve if people don't like you. In this acceptance, I have found something incredible, and that is my own freedom. So step 2 of this, cultivate curiosity. So when I turned 40, something really amazing happened to me. I stopped investing energy in what others thought. So again, as I said, I devalued the thoughts of others because it doesn't have bearing on my life. So I stopped investing my energy in that. And I simply started living my truth. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I started speaking my truth. And in doing this, I opened myself up to relationships in a way I never had before. This shift allowed me to cultivate something that is essential in this process, and that is curiosity. Every interaction we have is layered with circumstance. Maybe the coworker that snapped at you had a brutal morning. Everything went wrong. Got outside, tires flat, and they had to change that. And then every traffic light's red, and traffic is a nightmare. So their snapping at you might be more about themselves than about you. Maybe the person giving you attitude at the gym just got terrible news. Somebody might be in the hospital, and they're there to kind of just remain sane. Instead of taking things so personally, why don't we just get a little bit more curious? What if instead of reacting when people snap, or they, as we call them, a-holes, if they're a-holes to us, actually pause and ask, hey, are you okay? That simple question, just to find out how they're doing. It doesn't excuse bad behavior, but curiosity opens the door to compassion. And compassion, as we said, that's the door where love begins. The third step in this process is to practice gratitude and, again, compassion. So when I soften my heart and I let go of attachment to how interaction should go, everything changed. Instead of being so guarded, I became curious. Instead of assuming the worst, assuming that people are thinking the worst of me, I led with compassion. And from compassion, love naturally followed. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. And to the guys that are ramping up for Valentine's Day, that are in relationship, remember this. Love is a practice. It's a daily practice. It's not something that you set and forget. It's something you work on every single day. It's something we cultivate through gratitude. When we start seeing people around us through a lens of compassion and gratitude, we start accepting them as they are. And in doing so, we give ourselves permission to live our own truth. And that's a beautiful thing. And that is where joy lives. So, this has been a rather longer podcast than I usually do. So, I need to sum this up for you a little bit. So, let's sum up the steps. So, firstly, accept yourself and others. Let go of the expectations you think are placed on you and just be. Second step is to cultivate curiosity, especially towards the difficult people in your life. Then from curiosity, build compassion. From compassion, practice that gratitude, and then love will blossom. That's it. So this week, take time to do the work. Notice where you're holding back love. Get curious. Practice compassion. And let me know what challenges come up. I'm always here to listen. So that is what I've got for you today. Until next time, let your beautiful soul shine on this world with love. I love you. Hey guys, what an episode. I'm sure you'd agree. I'm sure you got so much value from that. And if you did, please make sure that you share it with everyone that you love. It's only by you sharing that I can grow this podcast. Also, make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Also, go on my website, www.infruitioncoaching.com, and while you're there, subscribe to my newsletter so that I can keep you in the loop on everything that's happening on my side and all of the courses and content that I'm yet to create. Also, make sure to follow me on social media and let's continue the conversation there, because this is a conversation. It's not a one-way. And without you guys, I am nothing. You are my audience and I love you. Until next time, have a wonderful day.